video. So, Neal.fun. Now, this is a serious, like, if you clicked on this, and I'm on Neal.fun, and you think that this is just going to be some silly video of me putting an airplane on an iPhone, no, I'm actually going to seriously design 4 iPhones to replace Apple's current iPhone lineup. That's right. I'm planning on doing more tech videos, so for every 2 automotive videos I make 1 tech video, so you're lucky. That's a new system I'm inputting, just because video ideas and how they work out. So, this is going to be the iPhone. I'm going to go from cheapest to most expensive, right? So this is going to be Apple's cheapest, like 100% cheapest phone. So what I'm going to do for the back, right, we need an Apple logo. So I'm going to put it right there just because it's nice. And then for a color, remember how the iPhone 5s, they were fun, right? They were kind of fun, right? This can be a product red, right? So this is a product red iPhone, right? So this is going to look, So I actually think I'm going to leave it universe gray, and then I think I'm going to make the exterior color something fun. Like this blue, right? So we're going to bring back fun colors to the iPhone, since the iPhone hasn't been fun in a while. Now, I would give this thing flat, the rounded edges, like the iPhone 11 has. So I think we already have the Apple logo on the back. I am going to put a, single camera. I'm going to put that up there, right? So you've got everything kind of set up. We need a light. Do we have a light? We don't have a light? Oh, I need a flash. And I erased my phone. No! Don't erase my creations. Neal.fun. It's really just because Google sucks as a browser. I'm really sorry, Google lovers. It really sucks, and I'm really trying to get out of it, right? So, essentially, the Apple logo looks much better. I'm just going to talk over, me redoing everything I just did. So, the Apple logo really looks better there, because, it does. It's a fact of life. The Apple logo looks much, 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 much better when it's up there. It does not look good down there. It looks great when it's up there, right? So, for this video, this is going to be the iPhone SE, right? This is going to be the cheapest one, so I think I'm just going to put, no, we need a flash. What can be our flash? Can the home button be no, we need a flash, right? So, no, what about the headphone jack can be our flash, right? So, I would make it look like an iPhone SE, but having the internals of something newer. What is that? What did I... Oh, right, I used a headphone jack. What can I use for a flash? Digital crown? Oh, that's too ugly. Our phone might just not have a flash. Oh, that's really sad. Yeah. Also, keep that in mind. None of these will have a camera bump. That's right. If, Neal.fun is very limited. It forces you to have a camera bump. No. Right? So, this is going to be the cheapest one, so we're not going to have Face ID. We're just going to have Touch ID in the screen, so I'm going to put our front-facing camera off to the front. That's right. Right there. So this is the cheapest phone, which means it's not going to have Face ID, right? In-screen thumb fingerprint reader, right? At the bottom, we are going to put the lightning port down there, right? Like that. Right, that way you can charge it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a diagonal charger, so the wire goes out this way, right, so it's like a elbow, right, that way, you can have it sit on you when you're sleeping, nice, so, right, and then, right, so the power button is going exactly where it should be, which is on top. The power button belongs on the top of the phone. Why? Because I cannot tell you, when I first got my new iPhone and I was moving from the 8 to, my 7, which I loved, product red, amazing, to my 11, I cannot tell you how many times I shut the damn thing off just trying to, yeah. So, just trying to turn the volume up or down. So the headphone jack can go over here. That's right. Apple, don't be stingy. We can have a headphone jack. Stop being ridiculous. And I'm going to make this power button, I feel like a lot of other companies are doing it, so should we. I feel like tacky yellow. Oh, yeah, tacky yellow is perfect. Right, so this is a fun phone. This is our cheapest model. We've got to make it fun. Right, so we are going to add a silencer over here. That's right. Silencer. We don't need a motion picture button or whatever, because those are, in my eyes, the most useless part of an iPhone. That little function button, like, it just gets in the way. I don't need it. I don't use it. It's not fun. I don't like it. So I think I'm going to make the side button cyan. You know, we're taking some notes from Google here. They stole so much from us, we might as well. So this is pretty much the cheapest iPhone model. So just pretend like it has, like, speakers down there, because, again, Neal.fun is limited, to say the least. Yes, very limited. So this is definitely how I'm going to do it. I really don't think it looks that bad, right? Here, let's change the wallpaper. So this looks like a fun, like, nicer Apple wallpaper. So gradient, definitely. So that we're just going to go with a gradient. So let's present it. Starting at $0. Can I set a price?
Just an upgrade. It's a breakthrough.
No. The iPhone SE, and I would price it at around $300, $400. No. I would price it. So I would go bare bones, 32 gigabytes, you know, memory total, and I would go like I would try to go as low as possible, so either between $100 and $150, and then go all the way up to $300, because I know a lot of people are going to like this phone. So this is the iPhone SE. You know, just the phone that I expect many people to have. Like, your child needs a phone, this can be the durable thing. I really like it, actually. You know, it's nice, right? So we've designed the iPhone SE. That's, so we of course see that. So let's go back to Neal.fun to reset it. So we had our iPhone set, and the set was all made up, right? So the set is going to be the cheapest, right? This is going to be our base model iPhone. So this is going to be the iPhone 15. This is just going to be the regular iPhone 15, you know, just plain Jane, right? So should I use a dual camera? No, because I don't want to make it look too much like, okay, so let's just do, like, I'm saying like too many times. Let's just do something that would be interesting. So let's put the power button up here, again, just like how God intended it. And then a headphone jack up here, right? That's pretty good. Perfect, right? That's very, very nice, right? So, a color for this. So this is the standard iPhone 15. So I think I'm going to make it, like, not tacky yellow. Ooh, green. Green, I think. So I'm going to do, like, the color palette they have now, where it's like the, ooh, and by the way, the wallpaper, I'm going to do, a mountain. I mean, it's the base iPhone. Well, you know, not the base iPhone. You know what I mean. It's like the cheapest iPhone. And I think I'm actually not tacky yellow. No, I wish they just had like a nice subtle yellow that I could use that wasn't awful. I think I'm just going to stick with the green. I mean, the green is really nice, right? So I'm going to put the Apple logo right there. Like I said before, how God intended it. And I think I'm going to make that like a darker midnight color, right? So you get the midnight Apple logo if you get the cheaper iPhone, right? And then should I do like a dual single camera setup here? Let me just envision how this exactly would look. That's not the worst, actually. I really like that. So remember, I'm keeping all the, that's not lovely at all. Neal.fun is not very particular. So right there, so I'm trying to keep it, remember, as just normal as possible. And I'm going to put like the little speaker thing up there. Wait, no. So I would put the little speaker thing down here and then the big flash up there. So this is like the base iPhone, you know, 15. This is like the nice one, right? So of course we're going to have the silencer over here. Remember, this is just a slight step up from the SE, right? The SE is an entirely different phone. But, you know, they're not at all that different, really. So we're going to have our power button down there, volume button. Both our volume buttons up and down, right? And then I feel like, again, I'm just going to make them midnight, just because I feel like Apple would look a lot slicker if everything they made wasn't just the tacky Apple silver. So I think the black actually looks really good. And I'll leave the home button. No, I'll make that black as well. You know, just to give it some color to it, right? And then I think it wouldn't make sense if the just everything else was midnight, but the lenses weren't. So I think the midnight lenses definitely look nicer. So I'm going for like something sleek, right? So the typical iPhone buyer, right? I know I am, that won't buy the Pro, wants something sleek, but they don't want to pay too much for it. So I think the black will make it look a little bit more modern and be a little bit more up there with Android phones. Remember, I'm working with Neal.fun, so I can't bring back the home button. I can't bring back any of Apple's old, like this catalog is everything I have to work with, right? So this is going to be the base iPhone 15 with one singular feature. Whoa, that juts out. So I think I would personally add like a little data port. Oh, I forgot the bottom port. I would add like, not an HDMI, but like a little data port that you could plug in that I would definitely make that would allow you to hook it up to a TV easier than it is currently with just the USB-C, because the dongles are ridiculously expensive. But yeah, so this is by far, I think that's pretty good. 1,400, no.
Just an upgrade. It's a breakthrough.
Like $600, maybe? This will be the base iPhone 15. It can just be the iPhone 15. So this is the iPhone 15. That's it. Ta-da! Great. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. It's green. It's nice. It's pretty. Next, we are making the iPhone that I expect most buyers will be interested in, right? This is going to be a iPhone model long lost to time, right? So I'm just going to choose the color. Okay, I have to put the Apple logo first back. Put the Apple logo in there. There we go. So this color, gold. That's right. Gold is coming back. Gold is a beautiful color. The phone doesn't have to be emo, Apple, okay? And then we are going to do our classic Apple splatter, right, for this phone, because we're really trying to sell this thing. So it's gold. It's elegant. This is supposed to be the really, really nice one. But again, not too nice, right? So we're going to do a single camera. Another single camera right below it, right? Now, you may say some of these are downgrades. Yeah, because people can't afford the newest iPhones, man. Like, they really can't. That looks stupid. That looks stupid. That looks stupid. That also looks stupid. What's a way that I could do this where it wouldn't look... You want to know... 2 cameras, that's all we need. You only need 2 cameras. Like, what is it with people and be like, oh, I need 10,000 different billion cameras. You only really need 2, right? Be real with yourself. You only really need 2. And then I would add... the home button looks so tacky. I would add, like... I would make the Apple logo the IR sensor. Now, I know you cover it, and blah, but hey, historically it's accurate. Also, now, you may say... Sloth, why aren't you whining about how there's no USB-C? Because I would go back to Lightning. The UN can piss off. I'm sorry. Lightning is objectively better in every single way. No matter how you say it, there is 10 different billion, bajillion, kajillion, jillion different brands and types of USB-C, and none of them are as good as Lightning. Lightning is objectively better. Bring back Lightning. Lightning is amazing. Bring back the headphone jack. Bring back Lightning. Make the iPhone good again. I don't want an iPhone. I don't want to buy it. I just hate Samsung more than I hate Apple. Remember, the cameras are inset. There is no camera bump. Camera bumps are by far the stupidest thing Apple has done to make buyers try and throw out their iPhones as early as possible. Definitely something that I definitely don't agree with, right? So put that power button. Right, and remember, it's gold, right? Because this is going to be like the nice one. And remember, like, the Pro models also should be affordable. Like, they're focusing too much on technology and forgetting their buyers, you know? I still have an iPhone 13 mini because that was the last year Apple actually cared about the people that bought their devices. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, of course, the Pro notch, although I'll just leave it in the center. See, yes, you're right. It would look much better and much more functional if it was over there. Why? Because the camera could be on this end. So the camera would still end up being in the middle of the display, yada, yada, yada. Yes, but Apple is all about symmetry and beauty, and come on, it looks better in the middle. You can admit that. So we're going to add a click wheel. That's right. So I really think that this would look just really good, right? If we no, I'm completely joking with you. Right, so this is going to be great. I really think that this would be a really fun model, you know? So, I mean, so far, I mean, it's beautiful. It's gold, right? And this would be about maybe $700, $800, right? Apple seriously needs to bring the prices down because this is where Apple, in my opinion, has gone significantly wrong. Yes, I'm leaving those silver on purpose. I'm sorry, it just looks better silver. Apple has kind of, like, when I say forgotten their buyers by the wayside, if you make your thing affordable, but also make it the nicest thing that you offer, people will buy it. If you make it, like, people want the nicest stuff. And if that's affordable, they can afford it and buy it. If you're able to only give them, like, an iPhone SE for their budget and not, like, something nice that they're going to like, they're not going to buy from you. They're going to buy from Samsung, who has cheaper prices, you know, or LG. They're not going to buy iPhones anymore. And we need the customers more than we need the money, because without the customers, there's no money. And that's what's happening to Apple right now. They refuse to let go of their ways. They just will not stop with the exclusivity. They're kicking their own buyers to the wayside, the people that pay them money. It's like the government. You design phones for us. Your job is not to make some crazy overpriced thing which no one can afford and then everyone buys their cheapest phones. Apple makes most of its profit off the iPhone, off the cheaper models, because no one can afford the Pros. I mean, really? Apple? Come on. You have to admit, this looks way more attractive than any iPhone Apple has made in the last 10 years. No, I'm joking. 6 was actually pretty good. But, you know, Apple, you just can't put people to the wayside like that, especially your buyers. Like, shame, shame, shame. You know what I mean? So, there's going to be one last piece au resistance, something that I think everyone will appreciate, and something that I know I will appreciate. A digital crown. A digital crown. Now, you may say, why would we put a digital crown on an iPhone? Because we are going to put this digital crown in a specific place, right? Right there. And we're going to make it match the rest of the phone in gold. Now, in real life, I would shrink this thing down because right now it looks like it's lugging off the side of the phone. I would make it much, much smaller. Essentially, when you're holding the camera sideways, the button would be right where your finger would be to take a photo. Wait, would that be on this side? Yeah. Pretend like it's on the correct side. Then, because I don't really feel like moving it. Because then you could take a photo and then you could customize it. So it has the customizability of the regular, you know, things. You could also swap it out for your volume buttons, you know. It'd just be, the digital crown on the iPhone would be very, very nice. So this is our luxury model. What are we going to call it?
This isn't just an upgrade. It's a breakthrough.
This is the iPhone 15s. Bring back the S. Pro Max means shit. It means nothing. It means nothing. Zero. Nada. The Pro Max, no. The Pro version of the iPhone is called the iPhone 15s. Now, you may say, why would Apple get rid of that originally? Because if you can figure this out, why can't they? Because they want exclusivity. It was called the iPhone 15s because it was just an iPhone 15 with a little bit extra. You know, it's the iPhone 15s. The S just adds the digital crown and some nicer colors and nicer sides. It was called the iPhone 5S because it was still an iPhone 5, just slightly upgraded. The S. That doesn't mean that we have to Pro Max S, no. iPhone 15, iPhone 15s. And again, you may be thinking, well, the iPhone would get less affordable, right? Because there's so many models now so that people can afford exactly what they want. That's not why there's more models. The iPhone 14 and the 14 Max is the iPhone 14 and 14s. That is the same. The only reason why they added the Pro and the Pro Max was so that they could tack more onto the iPhone to make the Pro users feel different than the actual phone. The Pro and the Pro Max, gone, dead. Taken behind the shed, beaten to death, dead, gone, die. It's still an iPhone. It's still the iPhone 15s. You just make it more confusing when you add so many. There should be two. There should be the regular and the S. And then the SE for those that want something cheaper. SE/5S. And you want to know why I say that the iPhone 15 has to be the turning point for Apple? Because the 5 was such an amazing phone. The 5 was my favorite generation of Apple products ever. You had the unibody MacBooks, you had the unibody iMacs, you had the iPod. Best year for Apple ever, 2012. The iPhone 15 should be where Apple goes back to its heritage and makes good phones again. Now, right, you may be looking at me and watching this on an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and you may be saying, well, I could afford this phone, so if all the phones were cheaper with less things, I wouldn't really want to, buy that, right? But one thing that Apple doesn't really account for, if people have money, that doesn't mean they want to spend all of it, Why would you, let's say you bought an iPhone 15 Pro Max, right? You'd say, well, I wouldn't want something that would have, also, I'll get to iOS in a minute. One second. Yeah, I have lizards, and they need to be watered. And so I have a watering system. It's actually really cool. I'll do a video on how I set that up later. And it's ridiculous. Also, the iPhone sizes, they should be, the iPhone 6 was too big for me. All these phones are going back to 6. No 6S, no 6S Max. No. 6. 6. That's it. 6. That's the iPhone 6's size. I don't remember exactly. Those dimensions are these iPhone's dimensions. There was no reason for a bigger screen. You want to know why? Apple had something amazing with the Mac. They had something truly beautiful with the Mac. And then, instead of preserving what they had with the MacBook and the iMac and everything, they turned everything into an iMac. They turned the iPad into an iMac, and now they're making the phone so damn big, it might as well have its own separate damn keyboard. Apple, it's a phone. I don't need to be answering emails. I should have the option to, but I don't need to work out of my phone. I shouldn't just have an iPhone as my laptop, my iPad, my everything. Because what Apple doesn't realize, the more that they do this, the more capable they make the iPhone, the more capable they make the iPad, the less buyers are going to buy the conventional MacBook, which is more expensive, which is where they make the money. Apple, if you turn everything into a MacBook, no one's going to buy the MacBook. That's exactly what Toyota did. They turned all the other hybrids, the Camry hybrid, Corolla hybrid, Highlander hybrid, RAV4 hybrid. No one wanted the Prius anymore because it wasn't special. Everything's a hybrid. The MacBook was special because it can do everything a normal computer can. My iPhone should not be able to do everything my Mac should. Neither should the iPad. The iPad is an iPad, not an iMac, an iPad. It's for drawing. It is when you need a big touchscreen, not a little touchscreen like your phone should be. That's why I have a 13 mini. When you need a big screen. Not everything needs to be a Mac, Apple. And also, buyers of the iPhone 15, 15 Max, 15 Pro, you may say, well, I wouldn't buy this because it has less features. Think of what you could do with that extra $1,000. What would you do with it? Put a down payment on a decent car? Buy another one? Maybe buy one of our MacBooks! Apple! What are you thinking? If every single buyer that walks into the Apple store spends everything they have, they're not going to come back! And also, come on, Apple, make a decent product. Stop just shitting out whatever you do. Here, iPhone, got it, guys. Did a good job there. Actually make a decent product, Apple. It's getting to the point where I don't even want to buy an iPhone, but I don't like Android. That's the only reason why I am carrying an iPhone right now. If it were up to me, the iPhone SE from 2016 would still be made today, and I would still be having it right now. The iPhone SE, in my opinion, is the most advanced the iPhone. That's it. That's the stopping point. That's it. The iPhone SE was a perfect iPhone. That's fine. That's all I care about. Apple, stop it! And the last thing I'm going to do today, also, if you agree with me, put a like in the comments. I know that made no sense. Yeah, I just put that in to delete it so I could change the color. So, exactly what am I going to do next? We have four models to fill. We filled the regular iPhone 15. Well, we filled the trash iPhone 8/SE/ugly piece of crap with the new beautiful SE. We filled the iPhone 15 with the iPhone 15. We filled the iPhone 15 Plus with the iPhone 15s, and the S is also now the Pro models, and we've chopped off the Pro and the Pro Max because no one fucking wants those. I don't want them, you don't want them, no one does. So, what could I possibly be making now? Well, I said that there were going to be multiple iPhone models, but I actually think one of the reasons why the iPhone is doing so poorly right now is because there's so many damn models. If I'm going to shop, right, again, Apple is taking away their own buyers. You know what I mean? If the 13 has a 13, and a 13 Plus, and a 13 Mini, and a 13 Pro Max, and a 13 Pro, then when that buyer goes to buy the new iPhone 15, they can say, why would I buy the regular iPhone 15 when I can afford an iPhone 15 Pro Max, an iPhone 13 Pro Max? Two models! And they should be widely different, because the reason why sales are tanking for the iPhone is because they're all the same. If I want an iPhone 15, I'll buy an iPhone 11. They're the same model. There's practically zero difference. Zero. And the thing that makes me, it's like Kimberly Cheadle with the CIA. Your actions were bad. You made a bad product. Well, I'm talking about Apple here, not Kimberly Cheadle. But the thing that annoys me the most is how you responded. Kimberly Cheadle, by not answering the damn questions, well, I'll have to get back to you on that one. By her saying that, made me more angry. With Apple taking the advice of people that actually know this stuff, are sitting on the Titanic and saying, well, you know, the iceberg is profitable, so we're actually going to stay on this train. So, what's the next phone? What wallpaper will I pick out? Hot air balloons. Why would I pick out hot air balloons? That's weird. That's very weird. Why would I do that? Apple logo? Okay, so it's definitely some sort of iPhone. No. See, when people want an iPhone for their kids, I'm not getting a kid's iPhone, by the way. When people want the new iPad is the used iPhone. When people used to buy the iPads for their kids, what they do now is just buy an iPhone 5, and they're like, hey, just little Timmy, just don't crap on this, and congratulations, right? And that's what they do, because it works, right? That's exactly what they do. They just buy an old iPhone. I don't blame them. I don't want to own a new iPhone either. So, I am officially, as fake CEO of Apple, I am bringing back the iPod Touch. Yep. That's right. You bet your biscuits I'm bringing it back. Yep. Yeah. Seriously. It should be back. The iPhone, not the iPhone, the iPod Touch was such a classic, amazing, nice device. Why would they get rid of it? Idiots! Slumping sales. Well, maybe and again, right, Apple kills off, you may say, well, they're killing off their products, right? The products that you like and the products that I like to enjoy and the products that you like to enjoy. They're killing them off because they're not selling well. Toyota is smart, and a lot of people criticize me and chastise me, and they say, well, how do you know that they're smart? You're not part of Apple, you don't know what they're thinking. The Prius's sales were slouching so much. It was almost the worst performing model in their entire lineup, and they didn't kill it off. Why? Because they knew that the Prius would sell well. Now, Apple, how would they know that the iPod Touch would sell well if they brought it back? Because Toyota knew that the only reason why sales were slumping, right? Why sales were slumping for the Prius was just because they had so many other hybrid models. Apple killed off the iPod Touch saying, oh, well, the sales are slumping. The only reason why the sales were slumping was because they made it so damn unaffordable for anyone. No one can afford it. The children can't afford it. The children's parents can't afford it. No one can. No one can. No one can afford it. When you make your products unaffordable, people will not buy them. And again, why would you make it like $300 when the iPhone SE is essentially the same price and it's actually a phone, Apple? And then why on top of that would you kill it? When you're the reason why it's dead. You're the reason why it's crashing and burning, and instead of saving it, you're killing it off. If Steve Jobs, a lot of people have some choice words for him. A lot of people say he was dumb. A lot of people say he was mean to people. And that's just kind of the truth. But I have to admit, if Steve Jobs was CEO of Apple, half the dumbass choices they're making today wouldn't have even made it through. When one person had that idea, Steve Jobs would have tossed them out the fucking glass skyscraper and beat them to death for having such a dumbass idea. Seriously. Apple, again, I'm partially joking, but partially not. I mean, they have some real dumb ideas. Like, seriously, what were they thinking? What were they thinking? Some of these choices, even a 2-year-old knows not to make them. You know? Apple, stop it. So, this is the iPod Touch. This is going to be like 100, like we're making this out of plastic. It's essentially the new iPhone 5C, right? We're making this all out of plastic. We're aiming for like $50, right? And what we're going to do, we're going to bring the RAM, the normal RAM on the iPhone, we're going to bring it way down, like maybe 3 to 5 gigabytes of RAM. Why? That way we can put the storage up. So we're going to take that extra maybe 10 gigabytes on the Pro models for RAM, and we're going to put that into the thing, right? That way you can have a 128 gigabyte iPod Touch with less RAM. Why? Because it's made for songs and child's videos. The iPod should not interfere with the iPhone at all. And I get it, it can't call, so it can't interfere. Yes, it will. It absolutely will interfere with the iPhone sales. To get it to not interfere with the iPhone sales, we have to make it different enough. You can't sell 50 of the same things and then kill off 49 of them because they're not selling well when you were the one that made the stupid-ass decision to do that in the first place. I mean, come on, right? So the iPod Touch would be significantly better. So let me just show you around, right? So in the front, we would have a little, tiny little, the flash would be up there to reminisce of the iPhone 5, right? It wouldn't look like the iPhone SE, it'd be like the iPhone 5. The flash would be up there, right? It'd be purple, made out of plastic with a purple plastic home button. Just because, now, you may say, with a purple plastic shiny home button, like those little glass shiny things. Now, why would we do that instead of making the home button glass, instead of making the Apple logo black like the rest of them? Because it's not an iPhone. The lower level iPhones, like the iPhone SE, has a black Apple logo because it's a lower tier, right? The normal ones have the rose gold or the white Apple logos. This isn't an iPhone at all, so the Apple logo can be glass, it can be shiny, we're proud of the product, we want to have our logo on it, but that doesn't mean it has to interfere with any of the iPhone. It's not an iPhone at all. It's an entirely different thing, right? No power or volume buttons. The digital crown, which again, we're going to nerf it, not programmable, so it's not the same as the Pro model. You twist it one way for sound, you twist it the other way to make that sound down, and you push it in for power. This little knob here, that's all the controls you need. That's it. That's it. This is where are we going to silence it? You silence it in Control Center. We have to nerf it. I'm sorry, we do. A headphone jack, because, it's an iPod, and then a little lightning jack down there with a tiny little pinhole camera on this side. Now, why wouldn't I put the camera on this side? Because when we already have the digital crown there, which is a lot of working, we already have the camera there. If we put this camera over there, it would be too many electronics to fit in such a small space, and the rest of the phone has nothing in it.
This isn't just an upgrade. It's a breakthrough.
So this would be the iPod Touch. And with that, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, I seriously think that if I were in charge today, Apple would be much better off than it is. They're turning everything into a Mac, and they're killing off everything that doesn't sell well when they're the reason why it's not selling. It gives me a headache thinking about Apple's blatantly stupid decision.